in factoring this quadratic, the first thing we want to do is make sure we know what a, b, and c are. So a, the number in front of x squared, is a 5. B, the number in front of x to the first, is 11. And c, our constant at the end, is a 2. And in this case, they're all positive. We can still use the x method that we looked at yesterday, and I would like you to do that. So let's go ahead and draw our big old x. It's still set up the same way, a times c at the top, b at the bottom. I'm still going to have fractions over a for each side. And I'm still trying to find the same two numbers that do the same thing as before. So let's fill this whole thing in. At the top it says a times c. That would be 5 times 2, which is what? 10. Right, so I have a 10 at the top. B is just b, which we had was 11. That means that our fractions have denominators of a, which is 5. So here's what we're doing. This still works the same way. It is still a numbers game. You need to find the two missing numbers. And raise your hand when you know what they are. Do not say it out loud yet. You need two numbers. They will multiply to make positive 10. They will add to make positive 11. Take a moment to think about it. Raise your hand when you have an idea. Multiply to make positive 10. Add to make positive 11. Nick? 10 and 1. 10 times 1 is 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. Now here's one of the things that has now changed. 10 over 5 is a fraction that I can reduce. And we do want to leave it as a fraction because we saw in some of the problems yesterday the denominator is still used to make our final answer. So 10 over 5 can be reduced. Someone raise your hand and tell me what fraction, and I want to leave it as a fraction, will that create? Colin? 2 over 1. The fraction on the other side, 1 over 5, can that be reduced? It cannot. So here's what we do. We are now ready for a final answer. It works the exact same way now as it did yesterday. The denominator is your coefficient. The numerator is your constant. We're still making binomials. So this is 1x plus 2. And this is 5x plus 1. This is going to be our final answer. Again, it's the denominator is your coefficient, 1x or 5x. Your numerator is the constant, positive 2, positive 1, so plus 2 plus 1. If I multiply these back together using FOIL, box method, distributive property, doesn't matter, I should get my original question back. And without doing all of that, we can still spot check a couple things. Isn't 1x times 5x going to give me 5x squared? Yeah. So we know we've done the first part right. Isn't 2 times 1 going to give me 2? Yeah. We can quickly say 5 times 2 is 10, 1 and 1 is 1. Adding them together is going to give me 11x in the middle. This is my final answer. If you want to double check it, you can do the full multiplication on your own.